Hello, I'm Sarah Subiata-Bennett, and I'm delighted to have you with us here on the Dallas Express video podcast. Today, I'm excited to have Dallas City Council member Jesse Moreno here to share his valuable insights on one of Dallas's most expansive districts. Then, we'll bask in the beauty of spring as we explore the Katy Trail. Thank you for being here. Councilman Moreno, I'm so happy you're here. Your district, can you describe it to our viewers and listeners? So it's kind of a V-ish.
You bet. So
you'll do a better job.
District 2, I believe, represents the entire city. We touch over 8 districts, and we go from Northwest all the way to Far East Dallas, represent small community neighborhoods to entertainment districts, the richest of the rich, the poorest of the poor. So we get to see a snapshot of the entire city of Dallas within one district, and it has all walks of life.
As far as crime and the public safety, could you describe to me what you believe is the most accurate type of description of where we presently are as a city?
Sure. I think public safety is a perception, and everyone feels safety differently. Whether you are with a group of people, whether you're walking alone, whether you're with your family. What I can tell you is that we have an incredible chief here in the city of Dallas.
We do.
And he is working tirelessly every single day. And as a small business owner, what I can tell you is when you have someone at the top who is a cheerleader, who is giving you the best tools possible, who is making sure that the morale is high, making sure that we're compensating the way we should, we're gonna have a great force. And Dallas is doing some incredible work. And we see data that says that our violent crime is continuing to go down. However, we do need to work on those quality of life concerns that the average resident is affected by.
And yes, I do know that from 2021 to 2023, violent crime has gone down. Total crime has slowly inched upward, though. In the way that your district maps out, what areas concern you most within District 2?
Sure. The areas that concern me the most are our downtown entertainment districts. And it's not necessarily that it's the individuals who reside in those communities that are causing these crimes to go up. It's typically people from outside of Dallas or surrounding districts that are coming into the area and committing those crimes. And so that's an area that I'm very focused on. Obviously, Deep Ellum has been in the news in the past couple of years. And you're right, you know, I've already started having those conversations with our chief. It's like, hey, it looks like we're gonna start warming up sooner. That means we have to step up our game. And we've seen some incredible results in the Deep Ellum Entertainment District. And I can tell you that I will take my family out to Deep Ellum because I do feel safe. I have been able to work with our chief to have a dedicated unit specifically for Deep Ellum that's made up of its own dedicated unit, officers that get familiar with the area, get to know the business owners, and we have an incredible relationship with the Deep Ellum Foundation. They have interacted over 50 cameras in the geographical area, yes, to deter crime, but also if something does happen, DPD has access to that footage in their fusion center, and we've been able to apprehend criminals within minutes, within hours of an incident happening. And so we have really have turned the Deep Ellum around. What we are looking at next is looking at the way we close our streets for pedestrian safety. You have thousands of people in one area, and it can become a dangerous situation. And so we want to make sure that not only are we keeping individuals safe, but that we're moving those officers from having to stand posts at an intersection and actually get them to move into the district, walking up and down those streets to ensure that in the event of an emergency, they are there within seconds. We have an incredible mounted patrol that is growing. I'm excited about that. And yeah, I mean, we've really seen Deep Ellum turn around because we've been able to focus in that area.
There are some really concerned citizens or corporations. How are they able to get involved in helping in this particular area?
Thank you for asking that. You know, as elected officials, we see and hear about the the comments and the posts on social media, and that's great. And I want people to voice their concerns and their frustrations. But what I can tell you is we're not looking at every post. We're not looking at every comment.
Yep.
So it's so critical that our residents come out to City Hall and speak publicly during those morning and afternoon sessions so that we can hear firsthand what the concerns are, what the issues are.
Have you personally experienced any incidents of harassment or property damage at your home or in your neighborhood?
Look, I'm no different than our viewers out there. I'm a resident of this city that I love, that I was born in,
Yep.
I'm raised in, growing my family in. But unfortunately, yes, I've been a victim of when it comes to homelessness as a business owner and as a resident. Yeah, I mean, I've shielded my daughter's eyes from people who are unclothed, undressed, just walking up and down our city streets. I've had someone knock on our door at 4 a.m. Asking for help. Said, hey, can I call the police for you? Can I call an ambulance? Are you hurt? Are you injured? And the answer is no, I'm fine. I just need money. And hey, I can put you in contact with one of our providers. Refused the assistance that way.
Yeah. It's hard because I know a lot of these organizations, especially a lot of the religious institutions and organizations, they help service a lot of the homeless population by doing dining assistance or food assistance, meals to the impoverished. And I've read more recently that does a lot more harm than good. And this kind of sounds like what it is that you're talking about. What advice do you have for those communities who want to help, but their resources could be better spent elsewhere? What would you suggest?
I think you put it very well, and that's absolutely correct. I do want to give a major kudos to our staff with Homeless Solutions, who have done an outstanding job with our Give Responsibly campaign. And they have said those exact words. Individuals, organizations, typically from outside of Dallas, are coming into our CBD with the intent of helping individuals, but they're doing more harm than they're doing good. And so what I ask of these individuals coming into our city who get to go back home after they come to Dallas is to stop and to give directly to our providers, those organizations that are designed to help individuals. When people are coming from the suburbs to Dallas, what they're doing is discouraging people from seeking shelter, from seeking the resources that are so desperately needed.
As far as other successful models that you've seen, I know that you've gone to visit the Haven for Hope in San Antonio, and they've done a pretty decent job in managing homelessness and helping to alleviate a lot of what we're seeing now in Dallas. Do you have any ideas as to when Dallas will have a similar response by way of the Refuge for Renewal or whatever it is that you all are?
Sure. So I have had an opportunity with some of my colleagues to visit multiple cities, looking at different ways that our counterparts are addressing homelessness. Dallas is unique. Every city is different. And so I don't believe there's a model that we can replicate exactly and bring it to Dallas. It's going to have to be molded and shaped to meet our needs. Something that I am looking at is intermediate housing. As you know, I hosted a special called meeting with the Hope Report, and that's the mayor's task force to ending homelessness in the city of Dallas, and directed staff to come back with some initiatives on how we could move forward with intermediate housing. We can't be at a standstill. We have to be proactive, and we have to, even if it's an inch at a time, we have to show progress, and that's what I'm looking for.
I did this segment some time ago on Our Calling and Salvation Army, because I really like the work that they do. So I really like the directory that Our Calling has, that little pamphlet. I drive around with that in my car now if I see a homeless person, and I'll say, this has all of the resources, it's a one-stop shop. And in the past, I had even a DART ticket included in there, and I forget what else. But I'd give that to people and I'd say, you can get yourself here, but Our Calling, I mean, some of the Salvation Army areas do have shelters. But for me, it's that low barrier that I saw in San Antonio, where if someone is in their active addiction and they're shooting up, needing whatever drug, they were still able to be part of that community in a safe space, and then have the extensions of, hey, we can help you get sober right here on our campus. Hey, we have doctors. Hey, we have medical counseling. We have therapists. We have this, we have that. All of the things in that one-stop shop I thought were just beautifully created. And I do hope that at some point we can see something comparable in Dallas. I pray that that is a viable answer.
Sure, and we absolutely need low barrier sheltering like that.
We do.
But what I can tell you is that the city of Dallas can very well help with the infrastructure and the build out of those facilities. But we're going to really need a call out to our
citizens,
our residents, our
That's right.
business owners, to be able to help fund that day-to-day operation.
That's right.
And look, our business owners are already funding through different ways, whether they're power washing their sidewalks, whether they're having enhanced security, lack of business because of concerns that they might have. And so we're already paying for it indirectly.
That's right.
And so this will be a way to help solve the concerns that our residents have.
Agree. And for me, I'm just like, it's an easy battle cry. If you want Dallas to look like this, we have the investment in our downtown community coming from international networks. This battle cry is to ensure that this happens, that Dallas does not become San Francisco, Chicago, Portland, Seattle, all of these once really remarkable cities. I just don't want Dallas to go down that similar path that our other cities have.
Yeah.
And I had so many other questions written, but you covered them so eloquently in your responses. Is there anything else that you feel like we should end with or include in the interview?
Sure, I'll just offer this. I've been a public servant for more than half my life, since I was in high school, making policy decisions at a very young age. And what I want to make sure that we're doing is that we're, one, passing that baton on. And the reason I got involved at such a young age is that I wanted to be able to shape and mold the city for future generations. Now, what I want to continue doing now as a parent is making sure that I'm leaving Dallas well-positioned for my daughter, her friends, future generations, for the millions of people that are going to be moving to Dallas, that we continue being a clean, attractive, a safe city. My overall goal is to be able to retain families to stay here in our city.
Yes.
We have so many young people out of college, their first jobs, move to Dallas. I want them to call Dallas home forever when they start having their families. And so I'll end with this. Dallas is, for the size of the city that Dallas is, we are a safe city. Can we do better? Absolutely. And that should be expected. We should always be setting the bar higher. But what I want to tell our viewers, both from Dallas and from our suburbs, come to Dallas. We have so much to offer.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Moreno. We appreciate you. Now we're going to take advantage of some amazing Texas spring weather and head to the Katy Trail. Hi, so we had to pivot a little bit today and we came to the Katy Coffee Lab. I'm having their matcha chai. It's absolutely delicious. It's in some pretty apartments down here. First, I want to start by saying, only in the last few years have I started to be called a philanthropist. It makes me feel strange because I've always been someone who volunteers my time, talent, treasure, all of that to charity. And so now to wear that title, it's sometimes a little strange. There's certain types of stigmas that come along with being a philanthropist or someone who just likes to devote their time, money, talent to any type of worthy cause or charity. I'd say the most difficult thing is there's so many great initiatives. There's so many great initiatives in the world, and especially in our community. As you know, we have a very philanthropic DFW community, and sometimes it becomes a little difficult because I want to do so much for so many different groups that you can't do it all. So whenever you have to narrow down the list of people that you help, there's an element of guilt that comes along with it, because it's not that any other charity or cause is any less worthy. It's just, I think each individual person has to find what matters most to them, what compels them most, what keeps them awake at night, and that's how I decipher what to become involved with. It's really making sure that I'm involved with what matters most to my heart, my mind, my soul, my value system. Okay, so this one's a toughie because it's true. Yes, I've been through some difficult stuff in my life, but there are others that have been through far worse. And the best advice I have for anyone in any type of difficult situation is to start your day off with what you're grateful for. Gratitude for the smallest things, being able to breathe, walk, smell, see, as mundane as it can be. And as much as we start to take those things for granted, it really helps me brighten my perspective, my life, whenever I get down about any type of situation or circumstance that's in front of me. Also, if you're struggling with something a little bit more simple, like someone just being really hateful, negative, I honestly pray for them. I know it sounds strange, but I always think to myself that they've probably been given something in their life that has them struggling a little bit more than I do. And sometimes it's really hard to rise above the cattiness. I'm not always perfect. Sometimes I, don't act in the most becoming of ways. I'm never cruel or unkind, but just a little more defensive. And so I just really try and send them good thoughts, peaceful thoughts, because I think that helps to repel a lot of negativity more than anything, to remain in the positivity and the gratitude as much as you possibly can. Sometimes it's hard, but that's some advice that I implement in my own life and hope it helps you.